Alrighty then. It is going to be L380, the bird getting in some words again, and we are starting up a Learning League. Welcome again. It is for Definitive Esports, d-esports.com. Really quickly, we are not going to be seeing any face cams of me today. I'm kind of a little bit tired, a little bit rushed today, but do check out the bottom to your side, bottom right sponsors today. It is going to be BenQ, Antec, and Zowie Gear doing it live for us for Definitive Esports. Check out the sponsors; they're really cool. They really give out good stuff, and you can check them all out at DreamHack right now. But you can check them out right over there in that little corner, and then check out all of our stuff at Definitive Esports, d-esports.com. The YouTube, the Twitter, the webs, like all that stuff is really cool. Just doing little intros for you all. But I came upon this certain document today, which comes from a certain player of the team Triple V, VVV, Spellzy. If you guys don't know, Spellzy is the actual support player for VVV, but I mean, he has some tricks to elevate your play to 1.400 K to 2K. So, it's really cool to see, other community members, other League of Legends summoners, helping out, trying to raise the play of other people. If you didn't notice, the Bitly link is over there. I actually put it in. I'll put it in the VOD as well for all you YouTubers that actually watch the show. But yeah, the Bitly link is over there. Just pretty much a pretty good comprehensive guide on what an AD carry is and what to do as an AD carry in the beginning of the game to wherever you want to go, and please. Really in-depth stuff, right? I mean, that's cool reading, but experiencing it, kind of living in it, kind of seeing it is another thing. Slash, you don't want to really read words for League of Legends. It's kind of boring. That's why most guides that you watch for solo mid, most guides that you watch from anywhere else, you'll see video guides with it mostly, so that you can actually watch and actually experience what they are experiencing. So yeah, but it is a really comprehensive document. Do check out the Bitly link yet again over in the chat room or when I post up the link. It's a really cool document that tells you a lot about the game of League of Legends. But what we're going to be doing today is actually transposing this document and actually just learning from it in a real life situation. So we're going to be going into this game again, guys. Hold on, let me go change out this and then change out this. Alright, so we're going to be going into this game. Usual thing, guys, that I do this. It's pretty much taking live examples of a game and then kind of just going through it. And today, no special guests, no anything else with me. It's just going to be L3ID, just kind of chilling out with y'all today, and hopefully getting in a pretty good one. Looks like it's a 28-minute game, so I didn't actually watch most of this game. I watched some of this game. But we're going to be having the AD carries of Covenant, the AD carry of Tristana versus Caitlyn. The pretty much outranging, outdueling everything from level 1 to about level 7%. So let's first talk about this lane matchup between Caitlyn and Caitlyn Nautilus and the Tristana Alistar. Really quickly, the AD bot, the bottom lane, is a really important thing that you want to really focus on. First, you want to focus on the actual support. The support is actually really important from the first off, because the support determines what aggressiveness you're going to be playing. Say if you're playing with a Soraka, possibly even Janna, like that's the other thing. Oh, that guy just kind of stepped on a trap, but yeah, possibly even Janna. Like, you'll notice that most of those lanes have to play a little bit more passively with the AD carry. Even if you have a really aggressive AD carry, say Janna Graves or Janna Triss, I guess, they have to play a little bit more passively and just trying to find windows and openings to actually get into that. While if you have like an Alistar over here with that Tristana, they're going to play really aggressively, because Alistar's spells, Pulverize, Headbutt, and all that other good stuff, really engage upon, try to damage down, and try to, kill upon the AD carry or the support as well. Same thing with the Nautilus. The Nautilus is a interesting support because it's not really being used as a support really right now. He's being used more as a jungler. Has a lot of CC, so again, another not the same support, but does a lot of bit of aggression. While Alistar is a sustained support in a way because of Triumph of War, the E ability does give him a little bit of AoE heal, but it's not that great with the healing properties. So it's really just aggressiveness from the Pulverize and the Headbutt that's going to be really used. Next thing we have to talk about is the AD carries, the damage dealers themselves. Tristana and Caitlyn. Again, Caitlyn is a pretty good AD carry throughout the game. She does kind of fall off the late game, but she does have that massive poke with that Piltover Peacemaker, the Q ability, and also her range, which is I think about 700 from the start. No, 650. So 650, I'll compare it to Tristana. Tristana does gain range and gets a little bit more range at the end. It's starting at 550, pretty much. So it's kind of a disbalance over there. So you know that Caitlyn is going to have better trades technically if Caitlyn can get in and poke down on Covenant in the beginning of a fight, per se. But with that Nautilus right over here as the AD support, it's not going to be the greatest per se for Caitlyn to really start it out. So it's going to be dependent on Soaring Pride to actually kind of latch on with the Dredgeline and then try to get onto them. While Speedy Terrace is about the same way. He just needs to kind of lead in so that Tristana can do something. Like right over here, SWD is taking a lot of damage and does get ignited down, so that's going to be really tough to see. Great job by Convenience getting that kill. So we're going to be going into this little bit of trading / beginning of the laning phase. Right there we did just see a big trade, but I think that was just a big kill just because Speedy Terrace kind of started it up. But what is trading? Trading is pretty much exchanging blows with the other AD carry. In a sense, what I was talking about before where Caitlyn would have been a better trader against Tristana, I mean that would be the case if the position was right for the team of blue, but purple is just just being a little bit aggressive, so they can't really position themselves. But usually in a game of League of Legends, when both AD carries are pretty even and they're going to be trading off evenly, you're going to be seeing just a little bit of each of them just kind of calming down and not really doing too much. While this kind of right now is just more aggressiveness just because the supports are leading out, and I can talk about that a little bit later. But trading is what it is. You have to kind of just poke around and then hopefully just not take a lot of damage. That's why you have these brushes over here to kind of just de-aggro everything that you can with the minions and such, but the damage also as well from the others of the characters. We do see Convenience as support Speedy Terrace just go down right over here, and Soaring Pride going to be zoning out. We're going to go back to a little bit of a farming phase for the bottom lane, but trading in general really means that you want to just poke away. Like right here, we're going to be seeing a little bit of example of it through the support and AD carry. The support just missed out on one of the abilities and spells, so the trading is going to be happening from Convenience right now. Just going to be poking around with onto Soaring Pride and the Caitlyn. While Caitlyn, I mean, could have responded right over there, was way too low to actually do anything, so she couldn't really do too much with that. And that's an example of a really extreme case of trading, but pretty much in lane phase, you'll be seeing where Tristana will try to come in, use that Explosive Shot, which is a good DPS damager, plus a Ignite debuff, so it really helps out just healing presences as well. But I mean, it's just pretty much, you go up to the person whenever they're trying to last hit, try to deny them that last hit by hitting them first, and then they have to back away. Usually that's what happens, but usually, low elo, high elo, every elo, people act differently, so you never know, but usually that's what you want to do. When they go for a last hit, you want to deny them at least that last hit. If you do deny them that last hit, that's good. If not, they get that last hit, but they take a lot of damage from it. Next thing we're going to be talking about is commitment. Right here, we are pretty much just chilling out right now, farming up, right? We did see the first buy coming up from Tristana. Actually, let's talk about that first. The first buy from Tristana, and we had the first buy from Caitlyn as well. Getting double Dorans and boots. Well, they started with boots 3, but double Dorans. And for Tristana, I think it's about the same thing. Double Dorans, but does have that Berserk Greaves. Really quickly, the starting items for a game of AD carries usually start off with boots 3. Even if you're with a sustained support, say like Soraka or say like Sona per se, I don't think Alistar would really qualify. I don't think Tark would really qualify as sustained supports because their heals are on really long cooldowns. yeah, you kind of want to start off boots 3 just because you have that little bit more of a maneuverability to actually get around the area right over here so that you can get to the bush, get back, usual like that. But also just so that you can get some extra health with this extra 3 health pots really, really, really does help out. Then usually you go afterwards from the boot 3 to about a double Dorans with Berserker Greaves. I mean, that's your basis for just a basic setup. So if you can get into that where he is right now, Tristana, or she is right now, Tristana is at Berserker Greaves plus he has the 2 Dorans. He's going to have enough tankiness through the health, the extra health that Dorans gives. He's going to have enough lifesteal per se just to trade pretty effectively with WSWD. And also the boost speed is really, really strong and really going to help him just get away from things like the dredge line right there, but also just a lot of goodness with that extra 25% attack speed. Right over there, you were seeing WSD taking a little bit of pelter damage from Covalent. We're going to be starting to see it again because Covalent is going to be pushing up again. And this is another form of trading, but a really, really advanced form of trading. Actually, we're not going to be seeing it just because there's only 3 caster minions really going to be tanking it up. But you'll see it when minions are pushed up, pretty much all minions are pushed up, and the AD carry is still there. I think we saw just a little bit, but I was talking over it. WSD was taking a little bit of damage just at the tower, just because that's what you can do with Tristana slash with AD carries. We did see a big gank from middle, but I mean that's nothing you can really do about it. I mean, sadly for not, we do see Speedy Terrace yet again dying, but if you didn't see what happened in the first kill, and you saw what just happened right over there as well, Speedy Terrace yet again is going to be saving out his friend Covalent to get away, because that is pretty big. If you can't save the AD carry, if you can't save yourself as a support, you can save yourself. You can save your AD carry at least, so that he can still farm. He or she can still farm, and he or she can still do EXP, or be saved and not give up gold. Because that is probably the most important thing about being a support, is when to actually. I mean, you don't want to usually, but when to actually die and help your team out by sacrificing yourself. Commitment. So that was the issue that we were talking about like 10 seconds ago. Commitment is pretty much when you want to, come in and communicate with your AD carry or your support to actually go in and try to go for a kill. Soaring Pride and the middle player with that Kali, Trippy the Cat, kind of committed in there because, Nautilus came in, flashed out. We saw Trippy kind of come in there. Oh, no, not Nautilus, but Trippy coming in there, flash, and to actually come in and get that kill. And Nautilus using the, I think it was Depth Charge to actually get that kill. That was a big thing. Like, that is pretty much a basic understanding of commitment. Commitment in this game of League of Legends is pretty much trying to communicate that, we have to go all in on this. Like, see right over here on top? Like, this is kind of a commitment right now, and type Kamikaze can go just get a kill from RG Decade. But, just being committed into that where you want to just go in and say, you know what, it's going to happen whether or not we like it or not, and we just have to go in. You want to fall in if you know you're strong enough to actually go through it. Or even if you're at 50% health, like, per se, if Speedy Terrorist was at like 20% health, but he can definitely get the headbutt pulverize combo onto WSWD like really early, so that Tristana can do the burst damage. He'll probably die, like no doubt, he'll probably die. But that means if your AD carry gets the kill, that is perfectly fine with that support. It is just another thing to kind of look out for when you are playing in League of Legends. Like, yeah, even though they are pretty low, the kill potential is always still there for other people, and especially for the team of team of Alistar, Tristana, or Taric and Tristana. Like, any kill potential is really good with these kind of jumpers or people that can kind of turn a 1v2 to a 2v2%. You're wondering why I say that 1v2 or 2v2. It's just because, they have the CC advantage from Speedy Terrace with that polarized headbutt combo, but also he just does a lot of just extra utility stuff that is not really seen as much. We do see, Speedy Terrace committing right there. He has like 20 health, but he's going to get taken down because of that Peltover Peacemaker. But, with the commitment of Covalent, stayed in there, stayed in the fight, getting that kill. I mean, it made it worth it that Speedy Terrace, gave that kill to Tristan over there. How do you use snowball? Snowballing is a really interesting technique, a really interesting question. Snowballing is a thing that is really hard to do per se when you don't have communication. Usually with communication, usually with warding, you actually get the extra advantage of looking around, taking out people, just going around and just getting kills. Either way, from just interesting ganks and trying insight onto finding people, but most likely, more often times than not, it's just just damage from little pickups. Snowballing really depends on if your carry can actually secure the kill or not, and actually take it down. Like sometimes you'll see in tournament matches, like a support getting a kill, right? And then support gets like 2 more kills by accident, and your carry gets like nothing. That is not snowballing per se for the support, but that is just more of a denial to the carry, not getting those kills. I mean, it sucks that your carry doesn't get kills, and hopefully he does get access, so can get some points or gold actually. But with Alistar or with anyone that can accidentally steal stuff like Sona, her passive accidentally gets some kills sometimes. It really, 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 really sucks per se. So that's not really snowballing if you see a support that is like 4-0-0 per se, and you see your Tristana being 0-0-2. Yeah, that's not your snowballing your lane. That is not snowballing anything. Snowballing consists of your carry, or consists of a certain role other than support, other than per se, I think, really jungle, because I mean jungle works as well as a kind of snowball carry, but usually you want your carries, your damage dealers, to have the snowballing factor. Right now, with that 3-0-0 of Tristana is in an element where it could be snowballing, but I mean he's going to get taken down right now pretty easily from all the damage WSWD did, and Soaring Pride's work as Nautilus as a CC'er really, really good. But usually, like at this point, where you have the advantage of CS, where you have the advantage of the KDA, is really the element of where snowballing actually starts to happen. You really, really want to secure the person who is on your team that is in that kind of position. Just because if they kind of get killed a lot, and your other team, or your team yourself, doesn't have another carry that is snowballing, like right now the middle player Kassadin 1-2-2 compared to the 2-2-1 of Akali, not going to be really, really helpful. So right now, this is kind of one of those positions where snowballing is actually kind of bad, just because you have to protect the Tristana. If you don't protect the Tristana, you're going to probably lose the game, which is really sad to see. But in a general sense, snowballing is just, taking advantages and hopefully just pushing those advantages a little bit more by killing or by pushing. You have a serious question, Rev. What is that serious question? Really quickly, I'm going to be talking about what else to do. How to control creeps. Not really too important in this matchup because they are pretty aggressive, but I'll be going through that in a little bit. We're just seeing a little bit more damage, and we're seeing what the supports are doing right now. Really quickly, what a support does. A support is actually really important in this game of League of Legends. It does not just only put down wards / everybody should be putting down wards. Truthfully, everyone in their right minds should be putting down wards to help out vision, to help out secure ganks, secure anything literally. Wow, this damage from Decade's not gonna be anywhere because the Akali's just gonna go kind of destroy him, but he's gonna go take a kill from Nautilus. Support's pretty much what they did. Let's go back like 15 seconds. 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds after that. Okay. Right here, the supports. Right here, Speedy Terrace and Soaring Pride. Let's just ignore the Akali. The Akali is going to get killed anyway. Are pretty much delaying / denying the 80 carry. It's like the role of a top bruiser. Top bruisers, when at a team fight, they have to get to the damage dealers and then just kind of just delay them from doing anything, right? So right now we do see Speedy Terrace. He did use that exhaust to kind of delay WSWD so that he could save Convalence from the outside. While Soaring Pride kind of did the same thing, but in the opposite effect. He tried to get the CC down for Convalence so that WSWD could actually come back and try to get that kill onto Tristana. Unfortunately for not Tristana, is going to get away, but Speedy Terrace does get killed in the end of it by WSWD and Sharpie the Cat's tanking of that tower. So really, really good job still of Soaring Pride to actually speed up that kill for WSWD, who was kind of down in the beginning, now coming back into it. But it's also because, you know, the play of the supports really, really secured that to minimal loss per se. What do you do as a AD carry when you are playing a aggressive one and the support is passive? You have to lead on your support. That is pretty much the other thing. Like, as a duo lane in the bottom, like, yeah, you can have problems with solo queue where one person is going to be really passive, one person is going to be really aggressive. Why did Bayless actually stay? That wasn't actually really smart. Yeah, you're going to have one person that is really passive, one person that is really aggressive sometimes in solo queue in general. And you just have to communicate with your person, like say, hey, can you just, you know, do this for me? I'm going to be doing a little bit more aggressive. Just kind of follow in with me when you can, help me commit, so that, you know, you can secure stuff and secure kills. It usually is the other way around where the support can be a little aggressive. And just sometimes in solo queue it just happens that way. But the support can be really aggressive and the actual AD carry would be passive, because the AD carry usually in lower queues think about getting farm more than anything. So, you know, just lead on your other character to say, you know, can you just help me just commit a little bit so that we can actually win this game. So that is usually the case of a bottom lane in general for low elo, high elo, even any elo. The communication between both of the bottom lanes has to be really, really pertinent to actually do something. Okay, so we got support. We didn't say control creeps because I don't think there's any control over here. And actually, we're about to get into a team fight. So let's go back to it a little bit because the game's gonna end really soon anyway. So let's go back to this really quick. Controlling creeps. And this is really, really awkward to see this because this is the only way I get like replays. I don't use LRO replay anymore because LRO replay is not the greatest technology. It's very, very buggy, and you can't go backwards. It's really, really sorry. Controlling creeps is pretty much the way of you know, winning games, literally. Controlling creeps in League of Legends means you either play really defensively, passively, or you play really aggressively and just keep pushing. That's one element of it, right? Because that's what you usually see in this instance right here. And pretty much the whole game, what Caitlyn was doing to this Tristana, although getting out of position a lot, getting killed was pretty bad from her. She was making this happen right here, where she would leave out trying to, you know, push up her lane to where usually people will usually put minions right over here in this middle lane. Tristana in general as a character is a really good AD carry, but the only problem with her is her explosive shot, which actually does a little shrapnel blast of damage once she kills a target, like you see right here, and it actually hit targets all around it, right? So she's gonna be naturally pushing. Now with Caitlyn, she isn't that bad of an AD carry to actually clear out waves. With Piltover or Peacemaker, she can just shoot down the line and actually damage out all the minions. So literally, I know she's down 20 CS right now. She doesn't have to really worry as much. She doesn't have that much death kind of potential anytime soon, just because her minions, or the minions that purple team are sending up, are pretty much pushed right here in this little area, while blue team, you know, just kind of sit back and just say, you know what, you can go try to kill us, but you know, you're not going to get any advantage over here doing that. So that is one big element of controlling the creeps. I mean, what do you do if you're actually pushed up this far, per se, and you can't really do too much? I mean, you have to hold back and you have to make plays, but you know, the other thing is you just kind of have to just be a little bit more passive. Your creep wave, more importantly, in every lane, even top, even middle, even bottom, is really important to control, because it really determines what you're going to be doing in the next like 1 to 2 moves with the auto attacking, with the damage. Like right here, ignoring all that damage right over here. The creep wave is actually pretty even, but I started out with blue having a lot more creeps, and that is why when Speedy Terrace actually went in, he actually took a lot of damage just from the creep wave alone. So really important when you engage on something, you kind of want your creep wave to be a little stacked, so that you can engage with a lot more damage coming in. Unfortunately for now, we'll be seeing this not going to be working out pretty soon, because yeah, Speedy Terrace slash Alistar is a pretty good support to kind of go around and be a little bit more tanky than usual. But that is pretty much just a general idea of a creep wave. Like, literally what you want to do is kind of control it, where if you're losing behind, you want to control it by your tower so that you can just maximize the most output of damage with minimizing the most risk of actually dying. If you're actually pushing, if you're really ahead, I mean, that is kind of what you want to do, kind of keep on pushing and stuff, but with your pushing, you kind of have to harass as well onto the AD carry, so the AD carry actually gets denied. So that's the only thing Tristana didn't really do as well when she was actually killing out onto Caitlyn, sorry. So Conveyance is going to be pushing up right now. Anything else we have to look at for laning? When to take tower, why back earlier, later, and for the fixes, what should we look out for? We talked about the matchup already. When to take tower? This decision right here, taking dragon earlier at 12 minutes compared to taking this tower really early as well, is a really interesting case. When to take tower? I think in Spellsy's document, it was pretty much summed up best. You want to take tower pretty much when your team is at a distinct advantage, like say this tower is down over here at top lane and this tower was kind of half health. Everything is already pushing, so you might as well take this one down as well, so that you can get a really aggressive deny vision and just keep on going with just killing things all around, with taking their jungle, taking all that stuff. So a lot of it is just control right there. If you do have another tower or another friendly tower down, if you see yourself actually back and behind and you're actually down and out, like say you have 2 towers down your top lane and your middle lane towers are actually beat out, you want to play really hard if you have the advantage and actually have a little bit of time to actually take down the tower. Say it'd be like 10 minutes and say both these towers are down, but this one's like at 5 health. Take it, because you need to give that a little bit of relief of pressure from the other 2 towers over here, from the other 2 lanes, just because once you don't have your tower, you lose a lot of vision, and once you don't have vision, there's more gank potential, there's more kill potential that's going to be put upon you. So that's really important to see that, if you have to take your tower early, it's just because of that reason. You don't want to take it early when you're really ahead. That's going to just give the other AD carry just advantages of galore, and not being any threat of the death potential, and just less kill potential for yourself, and you're going to actually deny yourself some form. Okay, so we're going to be going into the second section. I think we got up all the way here. Pause it. Yeah, we got up all the way there. We're going to be about to be talking about team fights and stuff like that. Again, guys, this is episode 9. So many 80s, so little time. Going to be starting up the next little part in a bit, but be right back. L3IRD.